So, yeah, we left off from Ernie Terrell winning on points over George Chavallo from Canada in Toronto, Canada. That was November the 1st, 1965. So that's for that WBA title, which will be, that will come back to Muhammad Ali. But we got November the 22nd, 1965. Referee stops the fight in the 12th round. Muhammad Ali stops Floyd Patterson in the 12th round. Referee stopped the fight, hurt his back in Las Vegas. Brave performance by Floyd Patterson. But again, he got stopped there. So, March the 29th, 1966, Muhammad Ali wins on points against George Chavallo in Toronto, Canada. Chavallo from Canada, he wins on points over 15 rounds. And then May the 21st, 1966, Muhammad Ali wins in the 6th round. Referee stops the fight against Henry Cooper of England, the second match. The other one was a non-title fight, the split glove one. But again, Muhammad Ali repeats the same performance, beats him, opens up, cuts, and that was in London, England. Again, both in London, England, but different stadiums. So May 21st, 1966, Muhammad Ali wins in the 6th round. Referee stops the fight against Henry Cooper of England, London, England. June 28th, 1966, Ernie Terrell defends that WBA strap, and he wins on points against Doug Jones. And that was in Houston, Texas. That was a WBA title. But again, the full strap, or nearly the full strap, Muhammad Ali defends again, August 6th, 1966. Muhammad Ali wins in the 3rd round KO, with a 3rd round KO of Brian London in London, England. Again, really fast combination, caught in the corner, London, about a 20 odd punch, really fast punch, salvo to finish the fight. So September the 10th, 1966, Muhammad Ali wins. Referee stops the fight against Karl Mildenberger from Germany, the German southpaw, and that was in Frankfurt, Germany. And then November the 14th, 1966, Muhammad Ali beats Cleveland Williams in Houston, Texas. Some say that was his best performance. And then some say Cleveland Williams was a bit past his best because he'd been shot by a police officer in some incident a while back before this. February 6th, 1967, Muhammad Ali wins on points over 15 rounds against Ernie Terrell. Bit of a dirty fight in Houston, Texas, and that gets the WBA strap back for him. So he's the full undisputed champ. Now, March the 22nd, 1967, Muhammad Ali wins by KO in the 7th round against Zora Fawley in New York. That was March the 22nd, 1967. And then he gets stripped due to the gets stripped by the WBA and the New York Athletic Commission for refusing to go to Vietnam. I think, and that Fleischer still called him the champion because he never lost it in the ring, and it was wrongly took of him. and he was stripped April the 28th, 1967. So there's a little bit of to and fro with the championship now. So March the 4th, 1968, Joe Frazier gets his revenge on Buster Mathis from the amateurs. So Buster Mathis beat Joe Frazier in the amateurs. I think he might have beat him a couple of times, can't remember, but he beat him, and he beat Joe Frazier in Olympic qualifiers and hurt his hand, so couldn't go through. Then Joe Frazier went through instead and won the Olympics. That was 1964 in Tokyo. Beat a German guy in the finals, an ex-wrestler guy turned boxer. But anyway, yeah, so back to this. March the 4th, 1968, Joe Frazier wins in the 11th round against Buster Mathis. Referee stopped the fight in New York. Yeah, so that's for the New York title. The New York title there. I think that's the NSAC. Yeah, the NSAC title, the New York title. And then June the 24th, 1968, Joe Frazier June the 24th, 1968, Joe Frazier beats Manuel Ramos in the second round. He retires in the second round in New York. And then December the 10th, 1968, Joe Frazier fights yet again. He fought Oscar Bonavena in a non-title when he's on his way up, getting put down twice by Oscar Bonavena. But here he fights him for the world title. Wins on points in the 15th round. Oscar Bonavena from Argentina. Wins on points in Philadelphia. April the 22nd, 1969, Joe Frazier wins by KO against Dave Ziegler from the US in Houston, Texas. And then June the 23rd, 1969, Joe Frazier wins. Referee stops the fight against Jerry Quarry from the US in New York. And then February the 16th, 1970, Joe Frazier wins in the 4th round against Jimmy Ellis. He retires. Muhammad Ali's old stable mate and sparring partner, Jimmy Ellis, who started at middleweight and then moved up to heavyweight. Fought people like Georgie Bentham in the middleweights. But yeah, here he is at heavyweight, and he lost twice to Frazier, but this one he loses. I think this is the first one. Yeah, it's the first one. February 16th, 1970, Joe Frazier wins in the 4th round by retirement against Jimmy Ellis, and that was New York. Now the undisputed title you got on November the 18th, 1970, Joe Frazier wins by KO against Bob Foster from the US in Detroit. Bob Foster, one of the greatest light heavies, moving up, real banger, banged out people like Dick Tiger and light heavyweights. Again, phenomenal puncher, but didn't really sort of carry it up to the heavyweights. He also lost to Muhammad Ali later on in the heavyweight division. And then March the 8th, 1971, Ali, after a few combat fights, Ali beat Oscar Bonavena, stopping him in the 15th round, non-title fight, and also Jerry Quarry, and he comes back and fights Joe Frazier. Had a few comeback fights, Ali, and he fights Joe Frazier, wins. Joe Frazier wins on points in the 15th round, putting him down also, putting Ali down also. but taking a decision. That's not the last you'd hear of that. And then July 15th, 1972, Joe Frazier wins. Referee stops the fight against Terry Daniels from the US in New Orleans. And then May the 25th, 1972, Joe Frazier wins in the 4th round against Ron Stander from the US in Omaha. And Ron Stander did have a good win against Ernie Shavers, which was one of the most heavy-handed fighters ever, probably. Ernie Shavers, but he did get a win over him. I think he stopped him. Then we got January 22nd, 1973, George Foreman from the US stops Joe Frazier, puts him down 6 times. Referee stops the fight in the 2nd round. That was in Kingston, Jamaica. September the 1st, 1973. Yeah, I mean, also George Foreman would repeat a victory against Frazier later on. But again, here we go. September the 1st, 1973, George Foreman wins by KO in the 1st round against Joe Roman from Puerto Rico. That was in Tokyo, Japan. Then March the 26th, 1974, George Foreman wins. Referee stops the fight against Ken Norton, putting him down a few times, just like the Frazier fight. Referee stops the fight in Caracas, Venezuela. And then the big one. So October 30th, 1974, Muhammad Ali wins by KO against George Foreman in Kanasha, Zaire in the 8th round by KO, surprising everyone. The fight was delayed. Foreman had a little cut in sparring, but he couldn't get out of the country, and it was delayed a while, but again it still went ahead. March the 24th, 1975, Muhammad Ali wins. Referee stops the fight in the 15th round against Chuck Wepner from the US in Cleveland, Ohio. That inspired the Rocky movie. That fight, Sylvester Stallone was sitting in the audience, and the Rocky movie was born in his head. So we got May the 16th, 1975, Muhammad Ali wins. Referee stops the fight against ex-convict Ron Lyle in the 11th round in Las Vegas, Nevada. Ron Lyle had some crazy workouts, sort of when he was inside. Ridiculous amounts of press-ups and calf raises, etc. But again, he would have a real humdinger later with George Foreman in a non-title fight. Probably one of the best 4-round fights I've ever seen. And that was in Las Vegas, Nevada, the Ron Lyle v Muhammad Ali fight. Ali stops in the 11th round. Then July the 1st, 1975, Muhammad Ali wins on points for the first time against Joe Bugner. Wins on points, 15 rounds. He stops Joe Bugner in the 15th round, but he fights him twice. Joe Bugner wins on points in the 15th round against from England, Joe Bugner. Originally, he was sort of Hungarian descent in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. October the 1st, 1975, Muhammad Ali wins by retirement against Joe Frazier. This is the 3rd fight. The other one was wasn't a world title fight. But again, this is the 3rd fight and last. The Thriller in Manila. It's in Manila, Philippines. In the 14th round, Eddie Futch stops the fight for Joe Frazier against Muhammad Ali. with the famous words, "No one will forget what you done here today, son." But I'm stopping it. That was the Thriller in Manila even. February the 10th, 1976, Muhammad Ali wins in the 5th round against Jean-Pierre Koopman from Belgium. That was son John. I'm going to leave it there.